Hello, भैया.
Hello, Raj.
So, as I said, this is first time I'm doing something like this, and this is just to give some basic idea of your life and your journey from India to New Zealand.
Okay.
And I have some very simple short questions. So just wanted to, this might help some of the people who are coming.
Who are planning to immigrate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who are planning to immigrate. And normally there are a lot of misconceptions about coming to a foreign land, and there are lots of dreams for other people.
True.
Now, they all look at the positive side of things, which we'll also focus on the positive side of things.
Yeah.
But that initial struggle, which everybody has to go through in different ways and forms.
Yeah.
What I have understood is talking to people, whoever have immigrated from various countries, not just India, various countries, they all have gone through different set of struggles. Everybody has got a different set of struggles. Rather than struggles, I can call it as just a teething problems also.
Yeah.
And how to overcome those, or how we have overcome those. And so my first question is, what are your it's about your past life. It's about your past life. What are your what do you say, about your career, about your family back in India? When did you come here? And mostly about India. I just want to find out from your childhood.
Okay. So I was born and brought up in Delhi. My dad was in the army, and my mom was a teacher in Delhi Administration School. We lived in a joint family with my grandparents and my uncles. So it was all my cousins were there. Two of my uncles and their families, and my grandparents, we all lived together in one big house. It was a very, very nice way of living, and we were all just one big family. My chachis were like my mothers as well, so I didn't have to go to my mother to ask for food or anything. Whichever lady was present, I said, oh, I need this. And it was all fine. We were all common children and we ran around. It was a lot of fun. But there was obviously a lot of pressure to study hard and make something of your life, as I'm sure you faced as well as all of us Indian Asian children do. So fortunately I was not bad at studies, and I got into dentistry in Delhi. So I did that, completed that, and started my own practice in Delhi. I also had a part-time job in Tihar jail, which is the maximum security prison. So I met some illustrious characters there.
Okay.
Like Charles Shobraj was at that time in there. So that was an interesting period. Kiran Bedi was the IGP.
Okay.
Was the IG prisons at that time.
Okay.
I was very inspired by her. She was a very dynamic lady. I met her on several occasions, and she was very down to earth and very inspirational. So anyway, that was that phase of my life. Now, so I had a comfortable life, living with my parents, and I was already married to my wife, and we had one child and another one on the way. But ever since I had done my basic degree, I wanted to do advanced study. But somehow I got the idea in my mind that advanced study, I don't want to do it from India. I wanted to do it from abroad, some first world country, because I knew that there were differences in the training. In India, dentistry was somewhat rudimentary and as compared to the West and basic. So I did not want to, so I wanted to specialize. Long story short, I wanted to specialize in a Western country. So that's how my quest for.
And this was in which year?
This was in around about 92, 93 that I started thinking in those ways.
Okay.
So 92, 93, I thought I have to migrate somewhere else and then do my education there. I was about 26 at that time.
Okay.
So me and one of my friends, who is also a dentist, very close friend, we decided to look at it together and see where we could go. So our first choice was to go to UK to do the fellowship exams and then train within their programs and do surgery. That's what we both wanted to do. So we started preparing for that. But anyway, that didn't materialize for various reasons. So we looked at other countries. We looked at US, Australia, New Zealand. New Zealand we had no idea of. So people have asked me, why did you choose New Zealand? So I say, no, New Zealand chose me rather than me choosing New Zealand. Because at that time, all I knew about New Zealand was that the Indian team comes here, a cricket team every 4 years, it comes here and the game starts at 3 in the morning. And I used to wake up and watch those games. And I just knew the names of Auckland, Wellington, wherever the venues were.
Yeah.
But one day we had gone to one of the embassies to look for opportunities of moving. I think it might have been the Libyan embassy of all places.
Okay.
Because they had advertised for dentists, they needed dentists.
Okay.
So we went to apply there, and just across the street in Chanakyapuri, Delhi, was the New Zealand embassy, High Commission, and the gates were open. So we just went in and had a look.
Okay.
And fortunately, in those days, they had just opened the immigration plans for professional people.
Okay.
So New Zealand wanted professional people to migrate. So we just inquired from them, and as it turned out, according to the point system in those days, our points were exactly at the level where you could migrate.
Okay.
So we found out a little bit more about New Zealand. So I met another doctor there who had worked in New Zealand for a few years. We went and met him. His wife was a dentist. So we got some specific industry-specific information.
Okay.
And he encouraged us to apply. He said, definitely you apply. It's a nice place. And he told us many things because he had lived here for 5 years. So then we applied. We didn't apply through an agent. We went and met an agent, immigration agent, because somehow we thought that the chances of getting immigration will be better if a professional person applies. But then he wanted too much money, and me and my friend decided, bugger this, we'll just apply. So we applied, and within a week, we got a call from the High Commission saying that, come and pick up your passports. Your application has been approved. And
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
We couldn't believe it. So we just, no interview, nothing. Just on the basis of the paperwork that we had submitted. They said, yep, you fit our criteria.
And you haven't contacted any agents or anything?
We did not contact any agents. We didn't pay anybody. We just applied directly to the High Commission. And within a week, we got our passports back. We didn't believe that that's happened. Well, we thought, okay. So then I went to book my tickets to the agent, to the travel agent. And I told him, I said, I need a one-way ticket. He said, why one-way ticket? I said, because I'm not going to come back. I'll stay there. I'm moving. He said, yeah, you're moving. So he thought that my plan was to go there as a visitor and then somehow apply and get a job or whatever. So he said, no, you will need a return ticket. Even though you may not use that, you may not come back. I said, no, but I'm going on a immigrant visa. I've got a permanent residency. He said, no, you're mistaken. You can't get that. You have to go there, spend a few years there, and then you can apply for that. I said, no, I've got it. He said, look, you don't understand these things. I understand these things.
Okay.
I said, I can bring my passport and show it to you. He said, yeah, okay, tomorrow bring your passport. So I took my passport to him, I showed him. He couldn't believe his eyes. He said, wow, I didn't know about this scheme. We are very fortunate that you got a PR from here. So then it began to sink in that something important has happened, that this is not totally worthless. Because when you get something easily, you don't realize the worth of it. So we thought, oh, so this is something good. So anyway, then me and my friend, we both got our tickets, and we didn't know anybody when we came here. So anyway, so he came in I think early '95. It took us a couple of years, looking at different options, and then finally making up our mind. So he came in I think January '95, and I came in April. I came slightly late because my sister was getting married in March. I have only one sister, so she was getting married, so I thought I won't be able to come back that soon, so I delayed my departure by about a couple of months.
Okay.
So that was the time. So I actually came alone. I left my wife because I didn't know anybody here when I came. I didn't know what the circumstances will be, how I will live here, how I'll survive. So my wife and my daughter was 2 at that time, and my son had just been born. So I didn't want to bring them so far from home when they were living comfortably with my parents. So I said, you guys stay here, let me go and have a look. And once I'm a bit set up, then I will send you tickets.
And they're still in that combined family?
Still in that combined family, yeah. Yeah, my father had retired by that time, so he was home. One of my uncles had separated because his family had grown, so he had moved to the other house. But we were still very much in a joint family. And so Monica and the kids were very comfortable. I had no worries about it. So I came, so that's my life in India.
Okay.
Yeah.
And after you have started here, you have stepped into a country. This is the first time you have stepped out of India?
Yeah, we went for our honeymoon to Nepal.
Okay.
That's the only time I had sat in a plane before.
Okay.
This was the first long journey and first Western country I came to.
Okay. Yeah. So what was your feeling when you first came out of the airport, and how was your journey in New Zealand?
Oh, it's been a long time now, but I still remember everything as if it was yesterday. I was lucky that my friend Pawan was here already. He had 3 months to come and have a bit of a look.
Okay.
So he had rented a place. He had also come alone. He was married, but he had no kids.
Okay.
So then I came, and 3 or 4 days after me, his wife was scheduled to come as well and join us.
Okay.
So when I came, he was already here. He had rented a house, so he was going to pick me up from the airport. My flight got delayed in India, so I missed my connection from Singapore. So I had to let him know because he knew that I was arriving on that date, so he was going to come and pick me up. So I had to let him know that I wasn't coming. So I rang him up from Singapore. Those days we didn't have mobile phones or anything, so I rang up the number that he had given me, which was at his old place where he was flatting with someone.
Okay.
And so by the time I rang, he had moved to the new house that he had rented, which did not have a phone yet. So that other guy, he said, Pawan doesn't live here anymore. So I said, how can I let him know? He said, I don't know, I don't have his phone number. So then the poor guy, Pawan, my friend, he didn't know, and he turned up to pick me up a day earlier.
Okay.
And he said, Rajneesh, I was looking for you. The whole flight came out. Then the air hostesses and the staff came out. Then the airport staff, because in those days it wasn't that busy, Auckland airport. So they were going to close the airport.
Okay.
And he said, I was wondering what happened to you? So then I think he rang up India, my place, and say, where is Rajneesh? So then they knew, so they told him. But his flatmate also then went to his new house and told him, but afterwards.
Okay.
So then he had to come again the following day and pick me up.
Okay.
But he picked me up, he came with one of his friends, so it was very comfortable. Then we went to the new house that he had rented, which had no furniture. It only had one bed, which the landlord had actually given Pawan. So Pawan was using that, so I had no bed.
Okay.
So, and it was like April, just starting to get cold. But coming from Delhi, it was very cold.
Yes.
So I said, how am I going to sleep here tonight? I had brought no bedding, I had no idea. So then our landlord, his his parents lived in a house a couple of streets away. So his mom said, "Oh, I've got a spare single bed, so why don't you guys come and pick it up?" So me and Pawan walked to their house, which was like, say, a couple of 1.5 kilometers away, and we picked up the single bed and we walked with it on the street. So we brought it. At least we had a bed, and then had some bedding, and so that was the first night. I could not sleep because in India you are used to grills on the windows and gates which are locked at night. Here, the house was just set on a normal section with no fence, no gate, and there was a big bay window just behind my bed with no grill. I said, man, somebody could come in and kill me at night. I just kept looking, making sure I was still alive. So that was my first night. I could not sleep at all. So next morning I told Pawan, I said, yeah, this is, how do you sleep here? He said, don't worry. In a week you'll get used to it. He said, I was the same. So then, but then so a few days later his wife came. But the problem was that in those days, Indian grocery was not so easily available. So we had no idea where to go to pick up groceries. So we were just eating pizzas or burgers and ready-made food that we could get from the supermarket, just heat it up. The landlord had given us a microwave as well. I think in those days, we did have microwaves or whatever. We were just making do. Then one day the landlord came and saw us. Are you comfortable? You guys need something else? We said no. He had an Indian restaurant, so we asked him. We said we can't find Indian grocery.
Your landlord was also Indian.
Our landlord was Indian.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a Punjabi.
Okay.
He had a Indian restaurant in Auckland. So we said, Paji, we don't know. We are just missing Indian food. He said, oh, okay. So in those days, there was one guy in Otahu who used to sell Indian grocery. He was the only one, Mahadev's.
Yes.
So he said, I'll take you there. On Monday, my restaurant is quiet, so be ready, I'll take you there. We were free all the time, we had no job. So he took us there, and the moment we walked in, it was like walking into Aladdin's cave of treasures. This. I think for 3 people that time, on that particular day, we got groceries worth $450.
Wow, at that particular time.
That particular time.
And what was your dollar conversion at that time?
That time it was 18 rupees.
18 rupees.
Or 19 rupees, something like that.
Okay.
So we didn't have too much money, but whatever we had, we spent it on food. Most of which actually rotted away. Because none of us knew how to cook.
Okay.
My friend, me, his wife. His wife is a doctor, he's a dentist, I was a dentist. We all came from like big families. So in India, who knows how to cook?
Especially in a combined family.
In a combined family, I never had the need to even make tea. So I couldn't even make tea.
Exactly.
So suddenly we are thrown into this situation where now we've got Indian grocery, but what to do with it? And in those days we didn't have YouTube, so we could have seen recipes.
Yes.
So again we went and spoke to our landlord's chef. So one day we said, tell us how to make basic things. So then he told us a few things, and we started making things. Parathe, we could make parathe.
Oh.
I somehow learned how to knead dough and make roti. So even to this day, I can make good roti and parathe. Okay. But I can't make dal or any vegetables because we all separated our specialties.
Yes.
I said, look, Pawan, you learn this, I learn this, and Vanita, you learn this.
Okay.
So we all did specific jobs. Okay. And we all did them very well. So we managed to eat very well. Till Monica, my wife, joined us. So she came, so by the time we had set up and we had a house and we bought a car, we got some furniture. So I thought now I'm ready to get my wife and kids here. So about 5 to 6 months after me, then Monica and the kids came. And Monica knew how to cook. Okay. So then our nutrition level increased.
So that must be
we went off from parathe to other things as well.
That must be a big blessing.
It was a big blessing because the day Monica was going to come. It was so funny. We thought then we'll have a party, when Monica comes for celebration. So, but most of the things Monica was going to have to cook. Because we didn't have any idea. So we thought, okay, we'll have chole. So we said, okay, chole. So then we knew that the chole, chickpeas, you have to soak in water for a period of time. So we soaked it overnight.
Okay.
But we soaked like half a kilo or 1 kilo. We didn't know how much. Then Monica came. So Monica said, what is this? So many chole. So we said, no, we are having a celebration because you are here. She said, oh, must be a lot of people coming. We said, no, it's just us four. Are we going to eat those for the whole month? It was all fun. We used to throw away half the food because we were very ambitious that we'll cook this, we'll cook that, we'll cook that. But then even if we managed to cook it, we managed not to eat it. It was all fun times. But then the other problem was that we had to, our degree was not recognized. The dental degree from India was not recognized. We had to sit for the exam.
Okay.
And they used to have only one exam a year at that time. Because
is that something like NZMC?
It's called NZDREX, the New Zealand Dental Registration Exam.
Okay.
So they had a theory exam and a practical exam.
Okay.
But they had only one set of exams in a year.
Okay.
And only 16 candidates they could take.
Only 16
Only
for the
16
exam?
for the whole exam.
Okay.
So Pawan was lucky that when he came, he applied immediately. And by the time I came, it was full. All 16 places were full.
Full. Okay.
So they said you have to wait till next year, which was a bit of a blow. But then it was okay. Pawan said, एक साल तो ऐसे ही निकल जाएगा. It's fine. So I thought, okay, I had other things to do, like I had to get Monica here. And then we had to save money for the exam as well, because the exam was quite expensive.
Okay.
So we had to look for a job to make some money. So we were got a bit lucky. I don't know if it's unlucky or lucky. We met some other Punjabi guys who were working on the farms.
Okay.
So they said, we'll take you with us, just come. It's easy job. You just have to pick the fruit from the trees.
Okay.
And it's vines. So there's vines and you have to pick kiwi fruit.
Kiwi fruits, okay.
Yeah. And you get paid good money. Like if you work, like it's a gang of 10 people working in tandem.
Okay.
So all the guys are very experienced. So you full day's work, you'll make $100 a day. So
Wow.
that was very good.
Okay.
$100. Excellent. So then we went off with them. They said, we'll pick you up tomorrow. Because we had no car at that stage.
Yeah.
So in the morning they came, and like I think 6:30 they came, and we were ready. They said, take your lunch with you and take a cup of, like a thermos with tea in it. Okay. So we went off with them. They took us, I don't know where, it was in backside of Pukikohi somewhere in Auckland. And there was this big orchard of kiwi fruit, and they put bags on you. So the bags are like in the front here, with 2 straps on either side. And when you walk, the fruit is at this level. So you have to, there's a particular technique they showed us. They said, just keep doing it, doing it, and it's easy. So by the time, after the first 15 minutes, my arms were like as if they're about to fall off. Because every time you pick, go down. They are experienced, but we had never done this.
Yeah.
And we were lagging far behind. They were like, come on, come on. We said, we are not sitting here resting. We're trying to do our best. So anyway, that was quite tough. We did that for about a month. And we made some good money. But we thought there has to be a better way.
Yeah.
I can't do this. The good thing that happened from there was it gave me and my friend real motivation to pass the exam in the first go.
Yeah.
I said, I can't. I have to do this for a year, something like this, but I can't do this for the rest of my life. I have to get back into my profession. So then he worked very hard and he got his exam cracked in the first go.
Okay.
And next year I was lucky enough. I did it in the first go as well. And then it was easy. But after a month of kiwi fruit picking, I said, no, I have to find something else. So then I found a job in a vegetable shop. which didn't pay very well. It was like $7 an hour, and it was very hard work. But it was not as hard as working out in the orchard in the bad weather and everything. So I did that for about a year till I finished my exams. That was a lot more comfortable.
When compared with the kiwi
When
fruit
compared with the kiwi fruit picking, but yeah, it was quite tough. In the meantime, I tried other jobs as well. I tried milking cows, which wasn't really for me. And then on the weekends, me and another friend of mine, we would go for distributing radio diaries. So it was like going door to door.
Okay.
And interviewing people and leaving diaries with them.
Okay.
Then going back the following week to pick them up.
Okay.
So there was like a research type job. That was okay. But I'm sure everybody has done these odd jobs at that time. I even worked as a dental assistant because when my friend passed his exam and started working as a dentist, sometimes he would say, "Oh, Rajneesh, come and watch me," so that you get an idea of how different things are here, because it will help you in the exam.
Okay.
So that was very good of him because it gave me a good idea of what to expect.
That was interesting. I never knew you have done all that. So, what was your thinking? How was it when you were doing those jobs which you have not done any time? Did you ever think of मैं कहाँ आ गया? Yeah, why did I come here? Did you ever think in those grounds?
See, to be honest, when I came here, I didn't know what to expect. So I left my clinic over there running. I put some other young dentists in there. I said, "You keep running this."
So you had a clinic back in India?
I had a clinic back in India,
Okay.
which I never closed. I said,
Okay.
you keep working. A friend of mine was working over there.
That was plan B.
That was plan B. If worst comes to worst, I didn't want to burn that bridge. I said, if I have to come back, if things don't work out, then I'll come back and I'll be established again. But when I got here, after that, I didn't have any doubts. Right from day one. I don't know why. I was very positive. Things were not good at times, and things were okay at times, and things were bad at other times. Because even when I got here, to talk to my wife, the phone calls were like $2.90
Yes.
per minute.
Yes. और वो भी यब्बा कार्ड बोल के था ना?
उस टाइम यब्बा कार्ड भी नहीं था. It was just direct by telecom.
Okay.
Just pick up the phone and dial. So most of my earnings went into that. So, but still, I was doing those odd jobs, but I had a good group of friends with me who were all in the same situation. So we all actually, and plus this was a new place. Every new discovery was like an adventure.
Yeah.
Initially, even going to the supermarket was an adventure because we hadn't seen those big markets in India.
Exactly.
So you go there and you look, wow, shelves full of food and everything. Then we discovered the local public library. We were very fond of reading books, fiction. But in India, you have to buy every book that you read, or some friend lends it to you.
Yeah.
But here in the library, everything is available. And we found out that you could borrow like 20, 30 books at a time. So our dining table was always full of books.
Okay.
Because I didn't have to study for a year. So I read like hundreds of books at that time.
Okay.
So every new thing was an adventure. And then of course by the time I knew little bit about the setup, then Monica came over and the kids came over. Then we became busy with looking after them because they were very little. My son had his first birthday here, and my daughter was 3 when they came. So then Monica was fully busy. She was a full-time mom. I was doing these odd jobs. Then we separated because we were living with my friend and his wife. Then obviously, because I was working in a vegetable shop in a rural area, so we moved closer to that. He was working in the city as a dentist, so he moved over there. So then we separated, we rented our place. Then a couple of my juniors from Delhi, again dentists, they migrated as well. And they lived with us for a period of time, like for a year or two. And they were working on the farm. So everybody was sort of like very close together and talking to each other constantly, because we knew that we are doing these odd jobs, but it's only a means to an end.
Yes.
And there is a deadline for that. And once we finish our exams, if we do well, then we'll get better jobs. And all of those guys, everybody passed, and they're all doing very well now.
Okay.
So, but that time, that support was invaluable.
Okay.
And not only that, like these were the guys living with me, but the other people who migrated under the same scheme, like doctors and engineers, some army people, some computer people. So there was a whole spectrum of people who were in the same situation as us.
Okay.
We were all subconsciously missing home. We were all within that age group, reasonably young, and very ambitious. Very ambitious, because we had left our families, we had left our homes to make a better life for us and our families. So we were very motivated to do well. And the people I know from then, a lot of have moved overseas again, some to US, mostly to Australia. But the ones who are here, we still haven't forgotten those days.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that support, that social support, had that not been there, things would have been a lot tougher.
Yeah. Because I have seen in these new times, there are lots of people who have gone back because that social system of friends and that support, and अगर कभी लो भी हो जा सकते हैं तो अगर एक दोस्त है या कोई है, वो बोलेगा अरे चल क्या
एग्जैक्टली अरे चल यार चल, और कुछ नहीं था तो अरे चल यार लेट्स गो टू मैकडॉनल्ड्स, कुछ नहीं तो ऐसे जस्ट जाके वी यूज्ड टू सिट देयर and then you're studying for the exam. Me and my other friend, we were doing the theory exam together. So I remember we would go to the library and sit and study, just the public library.
Okay.
We would go there and study there. Then Monica would bring us lunch, and then so we would study the whole day. And Monica would bring lunch and tea for us.
So, but you have not thought of going back again in any of the low moment, or
I didn't. Never ever had that idea.
So you had that perseverance.
Yeah, I knew I was in for a tough year and a half till I passed my exam. I knew once I'm in dentistry, I'll be fine.
Okay.
So I kept my. That is the most important thing, to have that focus.
Goal.
Yeah, have that goal. I knew people like doctors who started doing taxi drive, and they kept doing that like for 10, 12, 15 years.
They got comfortable.
They got comfortable in that. They thought, oh, kaun karega exam? I'm doing well enough. And they are still doing it.
Yes.
Each to their own.
Yeah. So once you get into that comfort zone and lose focus on your goal,
Yeah.
that's when things won't work out.
Exactly.
And they keep cribbing on their life, but they keep doing the same thing.
That's right. Yeah, making the same mistakes and expecting different outcomes.
Yes.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So what was the most ecstatic moment in that past life?
Ecstatic moment.
Yeah. What was the most happiest ecstatic moment?
In New Zealand.
Yes. Like, wow. जैसा आपके आंखों में पानी आ गए खुशी से.
When I found out that I had completed my exam.
Wow.
And got my registration.
Okay.
Because that was, that's the hardest exam. I've done exams all my life, obviously. और इंडिया में एग्जाम देने की इतनी आदत पड़ जाती है that you get very good at.
Class 5 से शुरू हो जाता है exams.
But this exam at the dental school, the practical exam, was the hardest. Because जो भी और एग्जाम आप करते हो स्कूल में या यूनिवर्सिटी में या कॉलेज में, you've studied in that environment. You know your teachers. You know, because those teachers become the examiners. So you know what they expect. So a kind of, you don't only prepare the syllabus. You study the exam and the examiners as well. And that contributes to your success.
Yes.
Over here, we had no idea who was going to be the examiner, what their attitudes towards different things are, and what they expect from the candidates.
Okay.
So you're just going in a vacuum. That was the scariest part.
Okay.
And with the practical exam, I had one or two problems during the exam, and I thought that this is so things have gone critically wrong now, I'm going to fail. So I was about to walk out. But then one of the examiners, he came and he said, what happened? I said, look, this has happened. He said, that's fine, this is a known complication. If this happens in your clinic with a patient, then what will you do? So I told him, I said, this is what I will do. He said, yeah, off you go then, do that. So they are not expecting, they are not looking to fail you. They just want to know that you can handle the complications if they occur, because you will be let loose on the public.
Yeah.
So you have to be safe.
Yeah.
So once I realized that, I was fine.
Okay.
But when the result came in the mail, Monica went out and picked that letter from Dental Council.
So open
For
karna
5 minutes, she didn't open it. She picked up that letter, she looked at the Dental Council, she said, oh my God, we were expecting the result. Then I think I was out, she waited for me to come home. She said,
she must be shivering. Yes.
this letter came for you. I said, oh my God, didn't you, what it says? What does it say? She said, I didn't open it. You open it. Then we prayed to God and said, slowly opened it and it said, you passed. Oh my God. I said, we'll have a celebration tonight.
Yeah.
That was the best thing that happened.
तो फिर पवन भाई वगैरह सब लोग आ गए.
वो तो रेगुलर मिलते थे हम लोग सब. I rang them up, I said, हो गया. He said, यार I knew हो जाएगा तेरा. I said, यार, but जब तक हो नहीं जाता है ना, you don't know. क्योंकि अगर नहीं होता था तो then it would be another year of that grind. Because you have to do the whole thing again. So I was happy to get that over with.
So that was your past, भैया. Abhi, I just wanted to say, how would you compare and contract your lifestyle in New Zealand with what you have experienced back in India? I'm not talking about your past. I'm talking about your present now. And how do you compare it? Like, if you were back in India, would you have had the same lifestyle as you are having now? We are talking about how many, कितने साल हुए भैया?
27.
27 years.
27 years हो गए.
So, if you were back in India,
at this age, what would my lifestyle be?
And how do you compare yourself? Would it have been better? Would it have been the same? Rather than that, how is your lifestyle here? Like, what do you do in your free time? What are your hobbies? And were you be able to pursue those hobbies or skills if you are back in India?
Yeah, that's a good question, because it involves a bit of guesswork as well.
Yes.
Because you go down some paths in life, and then after going a certain distance, you wonder, if I had gone down the other way, where would I be? I don't know.
Yeah.
I can only guess. At the moment, my lifestyle here is very comfortable. It's all set up according to what I like, or
Your
what
choices.
my family likes or dislikes. The thing we dislike, we don't do. We have a great group of friends, like you are one of the main ones. So that's a very rewarding part of it. I feel that friends enrich your life. You learn something from everyone. If I was in India, I'm sure I would still have friends and family. I would have probably more family than friends. Here I have no family other than my immediate family. But I think professionally, I'm more fulfilled here. I'm doing what I want to do at the level that I want to do. Because in India at that time, I was very limited in my profession by people not being able to afford the more expensive or more advanced treatments. Plus my training wasn't that good. So I could only do limited things. But since coming here, if I was in India, I think I would have stopped doing dentistry. I would be doing something else.
Okay.
Because unless I do something well, I don't feel very happy doing it. I'm sure everyone is like that. I don't want to do a mediocre job. So that way, this is like 100%, 10 out of 10.
Okay.
This is much better.
So you are now an endodontist?
I'm an endodontist. I'm a specialist.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have your own clinic?
I have my own clinic. I've been in Hamilton for about 15 years now. I've always had my own clinic. And that's very good. My wife is my practice manager. So we work together. Personally, we are very comfortable. The other thing that I think was really good about coming here is seeing my family grow up here. And the opportunities they have here for their own professional growth and even personal growth. Because here, so in between, after about 10 years, because when I came initially, my plan was to get higher education and make maybe a bit of money and then go back and live in India.
सबका यही
होता है,
यही
I'm
बोलते
sure.
हैं।
सबका यही होता है,
कमा के चले
जाएंगे क्योंकि इंडिया में किसी चीज की कमी तो थी नहीं।
Exactly.
If you have money there, you can live very well.
Exactly.
तो वो किया हमने। After 10 years, even before 10 years actually, 7-8 साल के बाद, we gave up everything and went back. हम लोग यहाँ से अपना घर वर बेच के, क्लिनिक बेच के और अपनी एक इन्वेस्टमेंट प्रॉपर्टी थी वो भी बेच के, we packed our bags and went back to Delhi for a year. Put the kids in school over there, and so we had wound up from here. But then I saw within that year the difference between the children's growth here and over there. Over there it is all academic. So 6 o'clock, like their bus comes at 6:30 or something in the morning, and they come back home at 3. Then they have their food. Then their tuition teacher comes along. By the time he leaves, it's night. So then they have food, and then they study a bit and then go to sleep. Whereas here, they used to do swimming lessons, piano lessons, speech and drama, and a couple of sports, like the girls did netball, my son did hockey and cricket. They were into badminton, they did judo, table tennis. You name it, whatever activity, they were doing like so many activities here. Painting. Whereas over there it was only one-dimensional. Just study, and nothing else.
और स्टडी भी अपना 3 Idiots में जैसा बोलता है ना?
जैसा बोलता है, रट लो, ये कॉपी रट लो पूरी आज, बस एग्जाम में यही आएगी. So then that opened my eyes. I said, no, is this what I want for my kids? That's how I grew up. So then we said, no, we have to go back. So then we came back. That's for our second innings, which is now like 17 years, 16 years. And then the kids again started doing those things. When they got a bit older, they even tried deep sea diving and things like that. And that just makes me so happy that they can do these things. So my son did his computer science degree, but he decided not to pursue that. He likes photography and videography, so he's gone into that. He's doing his own thing. My daughters are both in healthcare. One is a physiotherapist, the other one's doing medicine. They're happy with that. So that's worked out well.
From the kids' perspective.
From the kids' perspective.
And at that particular time, your focus has gone. You have struggled your bit, and your full focus is on, you had a beautiful career and you have a comfortable career of your choice.
So in my profession, I'm on a cruise mode now. It's the focus mainly is on kids now. One of my daughters recently got married. So it's good to see them, go through those growth periods in life and starting their own family, and they are I like to think that they are well balanced, overall developed kids rather than just nerds who just know how to code
Study.
academic books.
Yes.
They do other things as well.
Yes.
And then my hobbies, that's the really rewarding part of being here. Back in India, I didn't even know that I had hobbies. My main hobby was reading books and listening to music, which I used to do a lot, which I still do. But now I took up golf for a period of time.
Yes.
Nowadays I'm into badminton.
Yes.
So we like to play 3-4 times a week, as many times as we can.
Yes.
I like singing, so I do karaoke singing. I recently bought a harmonium that I'm learning a little bit. So the important thing is I have the time to do those things here.
Yes.
Whereas in India I had no time. Because in India the practice was split. So you start at 8 in the morning, finish at about 2. Then you start again at 5. and you go through till 10. So you have no time for anything.
Yeah.
And I see my friends over there, that's what they do. 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. I work like 4.5 days.
Yes.
8:30 to 5 most days, and on Fridays finish at lunchtime. So it's really good. It leaves me time for my hobbies,
Yeah.
my pastimes, and then spending time with the family.
Yeah.
That's very important as well. So I would not change anything. If I had my life again, I would probably again migrate to New Zealand.
Do the same thing.
I would do the same thing. Those hard times, they were hard times, but they were fun times as well.
Yes.
As I said, because of the social group we had.
Yes.
It was very important. Otherwise, it could have been very depressing. I know people who went back, not one, but several. And plus, the important thing is if you don't have a good relationship with your partner, immigration or migration to a new place can actually test that relationship to the limit.
Okay.
I know so many people who broke from their partners.
Yes.
And that is sad. But I don't know what the reasons were, but immigration definitely didn't help. Yeah.
Okay.
No, we were lucky.
Yeah. So I understand. We both have gone for archery also once.
That's right. We did archery, and we have to go for shooting as well.
We are
just to find the time for that.
Yeah. So even I did the same thing with my kids also, to experience some different things, and we don't know which one
they will
he'll be
like.
comfortable with.
Yes.
Like, I know you were a wonderful golf player, and somehow that has gone to the backbench.
Yeah.
But now you're doing more of your badminton, which you're loving it.
I'm loving it, and I know that there's a limit on how long I can do that with the knees and all.
Yes,
and
that's
golf.
the reason your plan B was.
The plan B is golf. So I've still got all my stuff there, so I'll just jump back in and continue with golf.
Yeah. वो कोई बोलते हैं ना कि कोई भी गेम खेलो, फाइनल में आना है गोल्फ के लिए.
फाइनल में गोल्फ के लिए आना है, that's true. और गोल्फ ही है जो लंबे टाइम तक खेल सकते हो आप.
खेल सकते हैं. वो वहाँ पे हर चीज के लिए है ना कि
कार्ट भी है, वॉक भी कर सकते हो आप.
वॉक भी कर सकते हो. If you want, you can carry weights also.
That's right. So that is the good thing. New Zealand में there are so many different golf courses, and all of them are so pretty that you might not be very good at golf. जैसे हम लोग तो beginners थे, but just walking through the golf course on a sunny day is so calming.
Yeah.
And if you look at New Zealand, it's one of the cheapest places to play golf in.
Exactly.
Otherwise, everywhere else, it's like an elite game.
Elite game. India में तो it's like.
India में तो it's for the super rich. Normal people can't even go.
वही था. तो, but yeah, that was good insight. And can you elaborate or give some insights on your social circle in New Zealand? What was different here that you had that in India? इंडिया में तो दोस्त होते हैं.
इंडिया में दोस्त होते हैं. तो बचपन से ही होते हैं.
बचपन से होते हैं.
जिनके साथ आप ग्रो अप किए हैं.
But how about your social circle here? What do you do with them? How often do you meet them? And what is the best part in your social circle now? See, एक ज़माने में आपको social circle था, that your friends were there. That was the time where you needed the most.
That was the struggle. That was the struggle time.
Right now, it is not the support or anything.
No.
Can you elaborate more on the social circle now and about your friends and?
Yeah. So at that time, the main role of the friends or social circle was to provide support and keep us positive, and that worked both ways. So we were each other's support. Now, it is more for seeking pleasure or spending a good time in amiable company. So it is by choice that you make friends. Now we know so many people in Hamilton. We don't necessarily mix with all of them.
Yes.
We mix with a very few families who are like-minded and who have no agenda other than just having a good time, just having a laugh, just have a few drinks and have good food. We are, as you know, in our group, a lot of people like to sing.
Yeah.
we may be good or we may be bad, it doesn't matter.
Still, everybody accepts us.
Everybody,
they give us mic.
Yeah, everybody wants the mic and everybody applauds.
Yes.
Because it's what you attempt, it's really good.
Yeah, exactly.
And then most people I play badminton with are good friends as well. Most people we used to go golf with. So as I say, like-minded people. And everyone is busy because everyone is a professional, everyone has got important jobs. So they are all busy during the week, there's no time. So at the weekend, usually either on Friday or Saturday, we get together at someone's place and just sit together, and that's the best time of the week for me. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's really good.
So, आपके पास के बारे में, India specific, what was the naughtiest thing you have indulged in your past life back in India? Naughtiest thing. अभी अपन सब लोग we have gone through that particular age of teenage, and so what was the naughtiest thing you have done, and which now thinking back I shouldn't have done that, or I'll do it again, something like that.
So I still remember from college times, when we were in final year, somehow me and Pawan, my friend, who we were really best of friends there, so we somehow got into this habit of bunking clinics.
Okay.
Every Saturday morning, and going to watch movies, like not just normal movies. You know what movies are in morning show?
Yeah.
Those Malayali dubbed movies.
Yeah.
So we used to bunk every Saturday, and we thought nobody knew. But one day our professor caught us after like 4 or 5. He was keeping an eye. एक दिन पकड़ लिया उसने. उस दिन बहुत जूते पड़े.
फिर करोगे?
नहीं, अब फिर करोगे तो फेल कर दूंगा तुम्हें. That sorted us out.
Okay. So there are some kids and people here as well as in India. They do some of the things which are not really nice, but as far as I know, that is the naughtiest thing we might have done previously back in those days, because we are not used to all the gadgets, phones. ये तो कुछ नहीं था ना.
It was simple times यार.
Simple times.
कोई iPad नहीं था, कोई phone नहीं था, कोई computer भी नहीं था घर पे. So we used to play outside with our friends यार. साइकिल चलाते थे. फिर then I bought a motorcycle. मोटरसाइकिल चलाते थे. But my mom said to me, I'll buy you a motorcycle. I was really after her. Second year, third year में, I need a motorbike. तो उन्होंने बोला ठीक है, I'll get you a motorbike, but then you'll run it here and there and you'll waste a lot of money on petrol. So I will only give you a certain amount for petrol every month. And if you want any more than that, then you have to come up with the money. So then I said, okay, you just buy me a motorcycle. She bought me a motorcycle, and then I started doing tuitions. I started teaching younger kids, and made a lot of money from that actually. Then she could not say to me, "Ki kahan ja raha hai? Bike kyun chala raha hai?" I'm running it with my own money.
Yes. अच्छा, थोड़े NZ specific questions भैया. You have already answered. Bringing up your kids is your main focus, and that's the reason you're back in here. So I don't have to ask that because you have already answered it. How do you compare the education system back in India and in New Zealand? The system of education. Like you have already said that वहाँ ज़्यादा 3 idiots type का bookish knowledge.
That is the biggest difference, I think. The difference between learning theory and doing it practically. So over here, practically they do a lot less than what we get taught in theory in India. वहाँ पे theory पूरा to the hilt पढ़ा देते हैं, अच्छी तरह से घोट के पिला देते हैं, लेकिन उसमें practical कुछ नहीं होता. लेकिन यहाँ पे जो भी पढ़ाते हैं, they teach you practically, so you can do that. So for example, जैसे dental school में मैंने यहाँ पढ़ाया भी है, तो they will teach you just to take out the teeth. That's basic. But they will teach you well. वहाँ पे they will teach you advanced oral surgery, advanced prosthodontics, everything advanced, but only in theory.
Okay.
You can't do any of that. That is the difference. और वही मैंने बच्चों का भी देखा था when we went back. I also used to think like most Indians कि India की education is far superior. And in some ways it is. The way in which it is superior is that it makes you more resistant to stress. Because you are exposed to stress at every exam. So you get used to it. You take it in your stride. Whereas here, they don't have any exams till year 11. अभी तो इंडिया में भी ऐसे ही हो गया है. They've changed things.
Yes.
But that was for me the best thing. कि exams, okay, exams, doesn't matter. बहुत दिए हैं. But that is, I think, that they should do more. They should do more of practical, hands-on. Like here, they make kids do projects and assignments.
Yes. They
Right from day
kids
one.
do carpentry also in the school.
Exactly.
हाँ, वहाँ पे carpentry बोले तो carpentry कौन करेगा?
I know. Physics पढ़ लो.
हाँ, physics पढ़ लो या chemistry पढ़ लो. तो there are some good things also back in India, but there are much better things here in the system of education, where वहाँ पे अपना वो क्या बोलते हैं भैया, गुरु शिष्य संबंध है. गुरु पढ़ाता है और शिष्य सुनता है.
वो अच्छी बात है कि गुरु की रिस्पेक्ट होती है वहाँ पे. टीचर्स की अभी भी हम अपने स्कूल का हमारा एक व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप है, उसमें एक टीचर भी हैं. वी आर स्टिल इक्वली रिस्पेक्टफुल टू हर एज वी वर बैक देन.
यहाँ पे इट्स मोर ऑफ ओके, दिस इज द टास्क, यू गो एंड लर्न and you write the essay for me.
Yeah.
This is the point.
Yeah, even when I did my postgraduate study here, it was the first day our professor told us, he said, whatever you put into the course is what you will get out of it. So in other words, what he was trying to say is that it is totally self-motivated learning. We are not going to hold your hand and teach you, this is how you do it, this is how you do it. If there's something you want to do, go and read about it. Tell me which papers say that you can do it, and then you can do it. Which was really good.
Which was, and वो थोड़ा different mindset भी different हो जाने चाहिए.
Mindset different हो जाता है कि I am in charge, I am running the show. You know, I can do this.
मगर अपन बचपन से यही सीखे, ये क्वेश्चन पढ़ लो, ये जरूर आएगा क्वेश्चन पेपर.
ये इम्पोर्टेंट है, ये इम्पोर्टेंट है, ये.
अच्छा. एंड अभी बेस्ट बोल के मैं नहीं बोलूँगा कि एवरीथिंग हैज़ इट्स ओन थिंग. नाउ व्हाट डू यू थिंक ऑफ न्यूजीलैंड टैक्स सिस्टम?
न्यूजीलैंड टैक्स सिस्टम
लाइक अपना इंडिया में दे गिव मोस्ट ऑफ, जैसा अभी कैसा हुआ है मुझे मालूम नहीं है. वो टाइम पे मेरे डैड को सैलरी आता था या मुझे सैलरी आता था, देन आई हैव टू पे द टैक्स.
इट वाज़न्ट डिडक्टेड एट सोर्स.
इट वाज़न्ट डिडक्टेड एट सोर्स. अभी मुझे मालूम नहीं है कैसा हो रहा है वहाँ पे, बट अदर देन दैट, डिडक्टिंग फ्रॉम द सोर्स और नॉट, दैट इज वन पॉइंट. डू यू थिंक द टैक्स सिस्टम हियर is better when compared to New Zealand or any other country in the world now?
Any other country में मैंने तो काम किया नहीं है. मैंने सिर्फ 1 साल ऑस्ट्रेलिया में ही काम किया है. और वो मैं जॉब करता था हॉस्पिटल में, तो वो मेरे को डिडक्ट होकर ही मिलता था. बट यहाँ पे मेरे को ये प्रेजेंट गवर्नमेंट का तो नहीं मैं कहूँगा, लेकिन टैक्सेस हाई हैं, ज़रूर हाई हैं. क्योंकि हमारे को जैसे whatever we charge from the patient, first we have to pay 15% GST off the top. फिर उसके बाद expenses निकाल के जो profit है या जो भी saving है उसमें से then you have to pay tax, which highest bracket pays 39%.
39%.
Yeah, so it's quite high. But when you look at what you get in return for it, it's worth it. You get good roads, you get good hospital care, your children go to school, they go to university, they get good education. You're living in a relatively safe environment. Crime, I mean, is increasing now, but it's really still not too bad. So I think it's fair. When you look at other Western countries, it's very comparable, I would say. इंडिया से कंपेयर इसलिए नहीं हो सकता बिकॉज इंडिया में टैक्स नेट इज नॉट वेरी बिग. A lot of the professionals, like when I was working there, all our money used to come in cash. We had no FPOS machines or no checks or nothing. Everybody used to pay cash. And then it was up to you to declare or not declare any income. So people just declared the basic, whatever they had to declare, and the most of it was cash. That's why everybody was cash rich over there, and still are. I know my friends, I'm sure they are not paying 100% honest taxes, most people. I won't judge them. It's that system.
When you are in Rome, you should be like a Roman.
That's right. Yeah.
Or what else, Vaya? What do you think of? What do you think of the people who are coming for education here, or people who want to come for migration? What do you think they should do there? प्री वर्क. क्योंकि एक ज़माना था वेयर जब आप आए इट वाज लाइक ए क्वेश्चन मार्क. अरे मुझे कहाँ जाना है, क्या करना है. एटलीस्ट यू हैव वन फ्रेंड हु हैज़ कम 3 months बिफोर. अगर पवन भाई भी अगर नहीं होते, so let's assume now there are new people who are coming. What is the groundwork they have to do? What is how do we help, or how do your suggestions, what are your suggestions to help them settle? Because I have seen about 80% of the people who come here, they don't have that perseverance of going through all that what we have gone through, and they leave back. Saying that, I'm not going to wash my plate.
Yeah, you're right, absolutely.
So what suggestion would you like to give?
So everybody, before they come, they look at the positives, which is natural. That is what makes them come. That is part of their ambition. But they have to remember that I have a comfortable lifestyle today. You have a comfortable lifestyle. We live in nice houses. We move in nice cars. Basically, we do whatever we want. Good food, good environment. But this house did not come, or this car did not come easy, straight away. This is, you're looking at me 27 years down the line. तो उस दिन मैं कोई बुक पढ़ रहा था, उसमें एक शेर था which stuck in my mind कि तमाम उम्र जलाए हैं खूने दिल के चिराग, तमाम उम्र जलाए हैं खूने दिल के चिराग, ये सजी सजी रातें यूं ही नहीं नजर आती, है ना?
Exactly.
And that applies to all of us.
Exactly.
है ना? जो हमने हार्ड वर्क बिहाइंड द स्क्रीन्स जो किया है इतने साल, which has resulted into these fruits. I'm sure कोई इंडिया में करे तो उसको भी ये फ्रूट्स मिलेंगे. ऐसा हो नहीं सकता कि आप मेहनत करो और उसका फल नहीं मिले. लेकिन ये है कि यहाँ पे फल मिलता है if you work consistently and smartly, you get rewards. I think it's inevitable.
और जैसा आप पहले बोले, goal and your focus.
Yeah, so इंडिया से आने से पहले एक तो ये अपना मोटिवेशन डिसाइड करो कि आप क्यों जाना चाहते हो. ऐसे नहीं कि चल यार चलते हैं यार, देखी जाएगी, यहाँ भी तो क्या कर रहे हैं. मोस्टली पीपल थिंक लाइक दिस कि there's nothing else to do, life is boring. I saw in that movie, फॉरेन में ऐश करते हैं लोग, है ना, तो चलते हैं, let's go, it'll be fun. They will be disappointed because it's not, fun is there, but it's not the kind of fun that they think it is. It's a different kind of fun. So first of all, your motivation for coming here and your reasons for coming here should be very clear. जैसे we were lucky, we knew एडवांस्ड एजुकेशन लेनी है एंड वी केप्ट फोकस्ड ऑन इट कि इसका मतलब अपने इंडस्ट्री में काम करना है और उसमें एडवांस करना है. सिंगल माइंडेड फोकस था. सेकेंडली, फाइंड आउट वंस यू हैव क्लियर मोटिवेशन. मान लो यही है कि पैसा बनाना है और कंफर्टेबल लाइफ देनी है अपने बच्चों को. चलो, ये बहुत बड़ा मोटिवेशन है, दैट्स ग्रेट. इसके साथ आप आ गए, लेकिन उससे पहले फाइंड आउट करो कि आप वहां जाके करोगे क्या, है ना, कि यार वहां जाके देख लेंगे. दैट्स नॉट द राइट स्ट्रेटेजी. विच इंडस्ट्री आर यू वर्किंग इन, और उस इंडस्ट्री का यहाँ पे क्या स्कोप है, और आपकी जो प्रीवियस क्वालिफिकेशंस हैं वो यहाँ रिकॉग्नाइज्ड हैं, या उनको रिकॉग्नाइज कराने के लिए व्हाट हूप्स यू हैव टू जंप थ्रू, वेदर दैट इज विद इन योर realm of possibility or is it too difficult, find out. Or in some cases you have to retrain, like I'm sure for lawyers, the law in India and here is completely different, so you have to be prepared either to do something else, and I know people, I have friends who are doctors from India, and they've gone into management and done MBA, they've gone into hospital management, they're doing very well, but they had a clear plan. Unless you have a clear plan, the chances of being disillusioned will be high. So मैं तो ये दो चीज़ें बोलूँगा, एक तो आपकी मोटिवेशन स्ट्रांग रहनी चाहिए, सेकेंडली आपको अपनी इंडस्ट्री का मालूम होना चाहिए, थर्डली यू हैव टू बी प्रिपेयर टू वर्क विद योर हैंड्स। यहाँ पे सब काम खुद करना पड़ेगा आपको। आप चाहे कितना भी आपका बड़ा घर है, लेकिन आपको उसमें वैक्यूम खुद करना पड़ेगा। आपको अपनी प्लेट्स डिश वॉशर में खुद लगानी पड़ेंगी धो के, खाना भी खुद बनाना पड़ेगा, कोई घर साफ करने नहीं आएगा। आ सकता है बट यू हैव टू पे थ्रू योर नोज फॉर दैट। गाड़ी आपको खुद धोनी पड़ेगी। सो इफ यू आर यूज्ड टू दोस थिंग्स, इफ यू कैन नॉट गिव दोस थिंग्स अप, देन search your souls carefully before making the decision. Otherwise you'll be disappointed.
यहाँ का सिस्टम में even prime minister will take her own trolley into the supermarket and buys their groceries.
Exactly.
उससे भी ज़्यादा थोड़ी है भैया अपन।
बिल्कुल। I remember एक साल हम इंडिया गए थे तो our kids had such a good time. तो वो जो poor lady जो हमारे यहाँ कुक करने आती थी, तो उसको डिफरेंट फरमाइशें करते थे ये, कभी किसी का पकौड़े खाने का दिल है, कोई किसी को हलवा चाहिए, वो बेचारी सारा दिन खाना बनाती रहती थी, डिफरेंट चीजें। दे हैड गुड फन, बट नाउ दैट दे आर बैक, दे नो दैट दे हैव टू कुक फॉर देमसेल्व्स, और करते हैं सब मैनेज अपने आप।
वही ना,
दैट इज द ब्यूटी ऑफ दिस प्लेस एज वेल।
एग्जैक्टली,
सब सिखा देता है ये।
जरूरत सब सिखा देता है,
बंदा बना देता है सबको। आई वुड रिकमेंड एक्चुअली फॉर पर्सनल ग्रोथ, जस्ट मूव ओवरसीज फॉर 5 years, फिर चाहे वापस चले जाओ, बट आपकी पर्सनल ग्रोथ काफी होगी उसमें, लेकिन नॉट विदाउट हार्डशिप।
मैं और एक भी देखा भैया, दैट स्टेटमेंट व्हाट 3 Idiots में जो आमिर खान देता है ना, कि सक्सेस के पीछे मत भाग, एक्सीलेंस के पीछे भाग, सक्सेस झक मारते हुए भाग, आ जाएगा तेरे पीछे। दैट एंड you are the real example for that. what I have seen is कितना भैया अपने को मिलके कितने साल हो गए?
15 साल तो हो गए।
15 साल तो हो गए। मैं I've seen you, that particular statement is perfectly apt for you. आप हर बार जो है, we do lots of other things also, but I see whatever you talk, whatever you do, you're a perfectionist.
मैंने अपने बच्चों को एक ही बात बोली है कि if you are decided to do something, do it well.
Yes.
Otherwise, it will leave a bad taste in the mouth for you. You'll never be happy.
Yes.
Plus, the people who you are serving will not be happy. So you'll go nowhere. चाहे तुम choose a profession which is anything.
Yes.
You might choose to become a chef, or you might choose to become a, gardener. Do it well.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, you'll sleep happy,
Yes.
knowing that I've done a good job. है ना? And that's what they do. यही मेरा बेटा भी है. He knows everything about what he wants to do. So he will do a perfect job.
Which is good.
He has offers from some real estate agents to make videos for them. He went and made 1 or 2 videos, but he says they're not paying me enough. So I can't do a good job. They want me to do a mediocre job, and I would rather not do that. मैंने बोला that's fine. You have to be happy. So I think that is important for anybody. और हम सब we have all excelled in our professions. यार सब करते हैं ना यही दिन रात. Aim for excellence, and that is true. The money and success will follow.
Will follow. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you यार. Thank you. कई सारी चीजें तो मैंने भी बहुत साल से नहीं सोची थी. Thank you for bringing back to my mind.
Thank you भैया.